Alright, what is up, my audiophiliac audio enthusiasts? You filthy, crazy audiophile, beautiful people. What do I have in my hands here? Hifiman Ananda Bluetooth, Ananda BTs, LDAC, 300, 600, 900. If you have an Android phone, such as my Samsung S20, you can set this by turning on developer options. You can lock this to freaking LDAC 900. Unfortunately, not all phones, not all devices can handle that. What do you see here? I have taken off the pad. Why? Because I tried to learn from all of those amazing reviewers, and I'm not one of them. I'm just an enthusiast. I want you to see what's inside as best as possible. So, I took the stock pad and removed the thin black fabric that used to be covering this, because I kind of like how it looks when it reveals the drivers inside. Just feels cool to me. The outside still has that same very thin material. You can see it's translucent. You can see the planar magnetic driver in between there. So when I'm looking at this driver, I see plastic ribs that are theoretically blocking the planar magnetic driver. So I wanted to take off the cap. So here is the cap. That gets you down one level below the driver. There's also a thin layer of mesh here that is literally glued on. That's a funny decision to me, because if you take off your ear pad, or if you buy aftermarket ones, you still just have a thin mesh, right? So you might want to clean it, you might want to blow it out, but that mesh kind of gets in the way. I am a Sennheiser HD 800 owner, non-S, because I'm weird and I like brightness sometimes. But regardless, you will get dust and debris in here once in a while, as you will with any headphones, so I like to be able to clean things out. Keep flipping this around for you, so I can just have a discussion with you all. These are phenomenal. They are the world's best Bluetooth. I have had and used the Mobius. I've had Sennheiser's Momentum 3s, Momentum 2s, Sony MX3s, XM3s, and those Bose noise cancelling, I think they're called NC700s, and people said, oh, you're going to look like a weirdo in the gym, and these are open back. Oh my god. Everybody's going to think you look like a big metal bumblebee. But actually, every freaking person I see in the gym or running or otherwise, you get compliments. And yes, you do bleed sound because they are open circumaural headphones with absolutely crisp mids, way more sub bass and bass than you would expect, and excellent. So what am I doing here? Just wanted you guys to see, because there is no YouTube video at the moment that shows you this part. That's why I keep flipping it, so you can catch as much light, because I am not a professional, beautiful hat-wearing audiophiliac reviewer. But I will try and grow a beard and wear a hat more often if I ever show you my face. But I appreciate what you appreciate, I hope. So what do we see here? Underneath this driver, there are underneath the ear pad, there is a plastic shield. that shield has about a 1 millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters gap underneath it, and literally the sound emitting from that driver is bouncing off of the black shield. The shield is what I believe to be, if my ear hits this or your finger hits this, it hits the mesh in between and it hits the plastic driver. It's a safety feature. It is a noise compromising safety feature that I believe Hifiman had to do. Many headphone drivers have protective shields. You've seen the ones that are like a plastic center with a sort of a star going out. And yeah, these are $1,000 Bluetooth headphones with an excellent retrieval of detail compared to any other Bluetooth headphone in 2020 and what I believe will be 2021 at least. Don't even assume for a second that your XM4s are going to be remotely in this league. In fact, they've removed some codecs as far as I understand. These are aptX HD. These are regular aptX. These, I believe they support that special HWA, Huawei high bitrate stream as well. But yes, if you're playing your FLAC files off of your phone, you are going to like the DAC that is built into one side of these. You are going to like the built-in amp, which to me sounds like the THX amp. I feel the power, that the drop. What are those things called? The planar magnetic Pandas, drop Pandas are, and yes, I have tried them because my best buddy bought them, but I said, you know what, I'm going to spend double the money because I don't want a closed back. I want the world's best Bluetooth headphone. I want the world's clearest, best treble. I listen to a lot of metal. I want to hear the strings. I listen to violin. I want to hear it. I want to hear the edge of the pick dragging along the ribs of a string. And that is what these Hifiman Anandas do. They are not the Aryas. They sounded a lot more pleasing to the ear than my Sennheiser HD 800s, because those are so bright, but those also lack some of the normal human being bass and sub bass that you might enjoy in a lot of yours. But they are, of course, brilliantly revealing, especially if you have an HDVD amp. So anyway, so my plan is to remove this plastic shield, which means I'm decreasing the safety of me damaging the planar magnetic driver. And that's what I'm showing to you before. And unfortunately, now that I hit this, I immediately grabbed my 8K phone and took a 8K video for you in a poor quality, shaky movie video because there's only one chance to show this to you guys. I can't wait till one of the pro reviewers dissect one of these properly for you. But they are truly magnificent. They sound great even without removing this. I just want better. And better is literally under a piece of plastic, so it's free to remove it as long as you're careful and maybe you don't have kids that you have to worry about quite so much. I do, so I am rolling the dice. They've broken everything else I own, so might as well. So anyway, yes, and on the other side, of course, is the what I believe to be the Bluetooth receiver side. One small thing, just so you know, the USB 3 really does allow 192, so 24 192 when you do have it plugged in. So if you plug it into your phone or your PC, you are going to get lossless audio. And the cables that come with it really do provide that. You can also charge at the exact same time as you are listening. And when it's on, if you hold down this little button here, it will, when it's plugged in, a red light will turn on indicating that you are charging at the same time. Alright, I look forward to updating you all After this is cut out, the mesh is removed, unfortunately, because of the glue, and the plastic is carefully removed using the Phillips head screws that you see right here. So there are a bunch of Phillips head screws to hold the bracket on, little ones. Like that. Of course I didn't measure, but there they are. And I hope this helps someone in some way, because if you're the type to mod your HD 800 to make it sound like an 800S, and if you are the type to have a high-end headphone of any sort, any brand, any sort, that you kept for years, you would have cleaned it. And this mesh glued in here is an interesting decision. Meant for safety, to keep the important things in here. But keep in mind, Bluetooth. You have modules underneath. We have batteries. We have DACs and amps that Hifiman probably doesn't want you to touch. There is also, just be careful, there is one copper cable that I can't, oh, you can see it right there. It is soldered to the edge of the driver right here with a single dab of solder. So be careful if you are going to try your best to cut out the mesh, remove the Phillips head screws, and remove the bracket, and carefully put it all back together, because the back side of the bracket is the other side of these Phillips head screws. So I may be messing something up. I will give you an update. Enjoy, and if somebody has those head HEDD phones, I hope it sounds good, because I can't wait to try those. Later.